what happens if these signs in children are ignored? Now, we see a lot of arguments on, it's a phase, they will get over it, just leave them. And sometimes parents encourage each other to use heavy methods of punishment, which ideally is even a cause of depression. So, but they are told, beat them. The way you train a child, model them while young, they will be able to change, without acknowledging that what the child is presenting is a mental disturbance situation and not an indiscipline. So when these signs are ignored, the children are likely to develop depression in their later life, whether as adolescents or as adults. Also, if these signs are ignored, we are likely to find very unproductive human beings growing out of those children. Why? Because depression or any other emotional disturbance is one of the things that cause the brain to shrink. So the brain development is not as it should be. The maturation of the brain is slowed down by the consistency of the stress in their life. So we are going to be raising children who are struggling because their brain development was very slow, therefore later in life causing low productivity in their adult life. We are now experiencing an increase of children suicide. Why? Because not treating depression then increases the risk of suicide or even other mental illnesses. So we are risking children to death because they are developing, probably growing into suicidal ideation to thoughts and affecting the suicidal ideas because the signs and the symptoms were ignored. We are likely also to experience a lot of addiction from children who suffer depression because at some point they find a method of coping with their own stressors. Because the stress is a lot, then they find a way of coping and they run to drugs, alcohol, and any other, sort of addiction, which can be sex addiction. It can also be addiction to food. It can also be addiction to working out, just to be able to fit or to find an outlet in a sense, or escapism, because it's not really an outlet. Escapism from the pain that they feel from the inside. In adult life, most people who experience traumas like adverse incidents, or they face accidents, children who have unresolved depression will not have good coping mechanisms. So any other small little thing that happened in their adult life can crush them simply because they have not built capacity from within to deal with adversity, considering that they have been in this continuous adversity-based situation called depression. Again, we have very many adults who are very dysfunctional. We see a lot of violence because the aggression was not treated. We see very many adults who struggle with dealing with social situations, having social anxiety because they isolated for too long until isolation became a part of their life. So we risk having a dysfunctional society if the children who have depression have not been treated early enough. So at this point, I need to say there is no shame in seeking help. When you realize that a loved one, yourself, or even someone close by is suffering, there is no shame in seeking help. Actually, seeking help is a sign of strength and not weakness. So there's help available, there's treatment available, and someone can get better. There is no shame in seeking help. If you need help or you know someone who does, leave a comment below and we will get back to you.